Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. So I am super stoked to be doing this video. It is another collab. It's been about a month or two since I've done my last one, and it happens to be with another male beauty guru, vlogger, a male YouTuber, and I'm really excited for that because Men's Makeup May was so much fun and I'm so sad that it's over. So very cool to be working with another guy. I'm sure many of you are already subscribed to him. I'm working with Edward Avila today. He has a much bigger channel than mine, so there's a very large chance you guys are already subscribed to him, but if not, go ahead and click the subscribe button. I will link his channel down below so you guys can follow him. He lives over in Korea and has amazing Korean beauty tips and just Korean beauty related videos that are really interesting to watch, because being here in the States, things can kind of get a little monotonous with the beauty trends being like so heavily done on everyone, where we kind of all look like the same. So it's really cool to see other trends. And yeah, so for this video he will be doing his everyday men's makeup routine using Korean beauty techniques and trends that are popular over there. I'll be doing my everyday routine using techniques that are very popular here in the States and other Western countries like the UK and Australia, where these trends are very popular right now. So without any further ado, let's begin, and I'm going to start by priming my face. So in the States and in Korea, this is something that's actually common in both. We are very heavy on skin and we like the skin to look flawless and perfect. Dewy skin is a big trend in both countries, so I am going to be mixing a little bit of my Makeup Forever Step 1. This is the smoothing primer, and I'm going to be mixing that with 1 drop of my Cover FX liquid enhancing drops in the shade Sunlight. And I'm just going to put this all over my face. And if you guys have been watching me for a while, if you guys are new to my channel, like if you're one of Edward's subscribers, you know I don't generally wear foundation, but for the sake of this video we are going to. In the summertime I actually rarely wear foundation, but I didn't want this tutorial to be 2 minutes long, so we are going to be wearing foundation today, but on a normal day. I'm going to be taking my Chanel Vitalumiere Aqua. This is my favorite foundation. It is a very beautiful coverage. It's very silky and smooth, and it's water-based. One technique that we use in Western cultures is to match the foundation to our neck or our face, whereas in Asian countries, I know they like to go 1 to 2 shades lighter because they like to have very fair skin. That kind of shows that they stay indoors and they don't get exposed to sun, like they're not working outside a lot. Whereas to us in America and Western countries, that shows that we have been out in the sun and we are on vacation if we have color. So a little interesting contrast there. So I'm going to be taking Chanel Vitalumiere Aqua in 50 Beige. This shade very closely matches my skin. It may be 1 touch a little bit darker. So I'm just going to dot this over my face, and this is something you would not see, again, as I said, in Asian countries, especially in Korea, where they like to have very fair skin. This is the only foundation that I will ever use my hands with, really, besides the Maybelline Fit. Or rather, I retract that. This is the only foundation that I will never use a brush with. A lot of foundations I use my hand with, but this one is not really good with brushes. So there we go. The skin is very even and very flawless now. And now I'm going to conceal under my eyes. So one thing that's different between here and Korea is the concealing of the under eye area and just the under eye area in general. They tend to match it to their skin so it's more flat. We like to brighten and illuminate and cancel out any darkness. Whereas in Korea, the popular thing is I believe it's called the aegyeosao, which is this like kind of skin right here which looks youthful to them, whereas to us that looks like a bag or sleepy. So in America we like to cancel that out. I keep saying in America. America's not the world. In Western countries we like to cancel any darkness out with concealer, so I'm going to be taking my NYX HD concealer and a Beauty Blender dupe. I'll be doing a video on this soon, and I'm just going to cancel out any darkness that I may have in my under eye area. Another trend that's very popular in the Western countries is to highlight the forehead as well. as the nose to bring these areas forward and make them look slimmer. And another trend that is super popular here in the States and other Western countries right now is baking. This is not an everyday summer technique, but it is something that we do very commonly here in these countries with these trends. So I'm taking a translucent powder. This is the Coty Air Spun from the drugstore. And I'm just taking that on my Beauty Blender dupe. And I'm just going to press this into the areas where I applied my concealer. And I'm not really going to actually let this sit, so I'm just going to show this for technique purposes. And then once you have placed your powder, just brush it away. So as you can see, this area is very flat and there's no shadow here besides from my leftover mascara. Whereas in Asian countries they would have that area be a little more dark just to have that little puffiness that looks very youthful. Main difference between the two cultures is the bronzing of the skin. We like to bronze a lot over here, and that just shows that you've been on vacation. So I'm going to be taking my favorite bronzer. This is the Hourglass Radiant Bronze Light, and I'm just going to brush this on the perimeter of my skin really lightly with a very fluffy powder brush, keeping this close to the hairline. So I'm just adding a nice glow to the skin, making me look very warm. We like to be bronzed on the perimeter, so I'm taking this along my jawline and near my ear. And then with whatever is left on the brush, I'm just going to go over the rest of my face. So now I'm going to blush up my cheeks, and in Asian countries they definitely do use blush, but I've noticed that it's generally in lighter colors and it's more focused on the apples. In Western countries we like to kind of map where our contour is going to be, and we tend to use shades that are a little bit darker, but I guess that depends on the look you're going for. But anyway, I'm going to just place this blush from NYX. This is the shade Amber. I'm going to put it right where my contour would go and then blend it onto my cheek. Next, I'm going to contour my cheeks, and this is something that's very different in Asian countries. They like to have a very rounded face and not a very squared off jaw, so this is something that's very different. We like having very angled lines to our faces in Western cultures. So I'm taking my Kevin Aquan sculpting powder and a large contouring brush from Morphe, and I'm going to hollow out my cheeks. And then carve out the jawline as well. And for men especially in the States, we like having a very squared off jaw. That is aesthetically, that's really nice. All of my backgrounds just fell. You know what, then we're gonna do color for the rest of the video because I'm not putting that back up. Alright, so we're gonna change the background, I guess. Really carving out the cheekbones to have very structured cheeks. There you go. Alright, so this is a trend that's not really that different between the two cultures, and that's highlighting the cheekbones. This is something that I find is the same in both, that they like to have a nice illumination right here. We're a little more heavy about sculpting out the brow and then having more of a super intense highlight, but I noticed that highlighting isn't something that's really different between the two cultures. But anyway, I'm going to be taking Champagne Pop, and I'm going to place that right there on the high point of my cheek, like so, and then highlight the brow also. Can't tell if the camera's picking that up. Alright, then highlighting the Cupid's bow. This is also something that's very popular in Western cultures because we like to have really super pouty lips. Then highlighting the nose. This is a trend that I see in both cultures as well. Both cultures like having a slimmer nose. I don't think anyone wants a bigger nose. But yeah, so I'm going to just carve out the sides of my nose using my Kevin Aquan sculpting powder. I like having quite a thin nose because I don't like my nose, so this isn't necessarily a trend specific to Western cultures, but this is how I contour my nose. I like it very slim. The last thing that I'm going to do is my brows. I have noticed that in Western cultures we like having a little bit of a stronger brow, more defined and more of an arch, whereas in Asian cultures I find that they use more straight across brows, which I guess actually looks a little bit more youthful, which is the look that they're all always going for. So I'm going to take my NYX Micro Brow Pencil in the shade Black, and I'm just going to carve out my brow. I'm not going to change the shape of it really. You guys know, if you watch my videos, that I have been growing out my brows for a very long time. If you're one of Edward's subscribers who's new to my channel, I do grow out my brows with a lot of beauty oils, so I don't really change the shape of them when I fill them in. And I find that this is just universal in all cultures. We all like to be more tapered in the center, out to a thinner, more lighter in the inner part of your brow, darker at the outer portion. So that I find is universal, but we definitely have more of a sculpted, definitely harsher brow aesthetic here in Western cultures. I actually quite like the Asian brow because I find it's a little more natural and it's a little more playful, but I've just gotten so used to this that I think my face looks weird if my brows aren't sculpted. So I'm just gonna keep on going. And for men especially, I find that we are getting a little more brow heavy in Western cultures. I think brows for men, having more sculpted brows, is becoming more acceptable and a wider trend. I'm seeing a lot more guys, whether they're into makeup or not, just having better shaped brows. I think people are really thinking it's more important, but I've seen a huge emphasis of that in Western cultures, and I think that may be because of social media over here and how crazy it is. So yeah, that is my brows done, and now we're gonna move on to finish with the eyes. So in American cultures, I've noticed that we definitely like to be a little more smoky as opposed to more wide-eyed and doughy. So I am gonna be taking just a little bit of a matte brown powder and running this under my lower lash line just to add a little bit of definition there. And if I were doing like a full glam tutorial, I would be doing a cut crease because that's something very popular here, but on a daily basis, I will just run a really light brown shadow into my crease and kind of wing it out to give my eye an elongated shape. And then I'll do the same thing on the other side. And then I'll curl my lashes. So I am actually using an Asian beauty product to do this. This is the Shu Uemura S curler. It is my favorite curler of life. I'm just gonna curl my lashes. I don't find that there's any difference in lash techniques between any cultures. I mean, there's no like, oh, we like more curly lashes than you. But I do find though that Asian cultures generally tend to gear more towards lengthening mascaras where we like more volume. I'm not going to follow that because I hate volumizing mascara, so I am going to be using just any mascara very sparingly to add length and not volume. And this is the Lancome Hypnose Drama. And I'm just going to lightly coat my lashes. I have noticed though in Asian cultures for men, having more smoky eye is a little bit more acceptable, and I think that's because of K-pop over there in Korea. Whereas here in the States, eye makeup itself isn't as widely used among men, or if it is, it's generally just like clear mascara or like tinted brow gel and that's it, but I like having defined lashes, so that is it. So guys, thank you so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed this tutorial. It was a lot of fun to do, and it also got me thinking about makeup trends as I was talking to you about them, so definitely really cool to think about the differences between Western makeup and Asian cultures, Korea in specific. And I do hope you guys check out Edward's video. I've already watched it and it's a lot of fun. Definitely some new techniques that I don't use and I'm definitely going to incorporate and try out. You guys should too. It's so much fun to try new makeup techniques and learn about the different ways that people do makeup in parts of the world that you may not be familiar with. But definitely check his channel out and subscribe to him, not only just for makeup tips, but also Korean lifestyle videos. He does a lot of vlogging, he does fashion videos, food related things. It's just really cool to watch his channel and see the differences between here and there. So yeah, I will again link his channel below so you guys can check out his video. Edward, thank you for working with me on this. It was a lot of fun. And hopefully we can do another video sometime soon. I'll see you guys in my next one that concludes this video. And until then, bye.